Oh, cool. I'm on. All right. Look, hey. Oh, cool. I'm on. All right. Actually, okay. Here's what I did. Here's what I did. Uh, I've got a camera delay because what I did is I couldn't get in from the All right. Look, the hey. Okay, I need to mute that because this is going to end up. How do I mute? All right, this? Actually, okay. Here's what I did. Here's what I did. Uh, I've got a camera delay because what I did is I couldn't get in from. Okay, now what I did is I took the sound off on because I came in from Zoom because I couldn't get in from the site that I used on Monday, which is called something else. But here's what I want you to do. It's on a delayed reaction, but at least I can see that you're in there. Let me know if you can still hear me because maybe it's still recording my voice, but it's just that let me see. Let me type that in case you can't hear me say that. Because if I turn my sound up, then I'll keep hearing myself talk, and then I wouldn't be able to just have you hear me. Who's that? Rose? Okay, because I can see, let's see, add video. Oh, I wonder, does that mean that I need to? Oh, no. Okay, I'm good. Okay, I see. Hey, Steve. Hey, Preston. I see names joined, but I don't know if y'all can see me because what I had to do to make this happen might not have worked. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on and deliver my message. And then if it turns out that it didn't work, then what I'll do is I'll rebroadcast it later. So, but I decided to get adventurous and do a double take. Not only did I come in from Zoom, then I also created this as a watch party. So somebody, let me know if you can hear me. I hope y'all can even see that, see the comments. Let's see, because maybe there's the problem. Can you hear me? Okay, look, anyway, like I said, let me go on. I'm playing hooky. I'm actually in an online conference. So what I did is I muted that on my other computer to come over here and do Glue Wednesday and Glue Friday. So if you're not familiar with the Glue series, we call this one the GAS series, GAS, the Glue Alphabet series, where each message I use a different letter of the alphabet. So today my focus is actually on the letter Z. And what people did is that they put words that began with the letter Z in the thread. And my goal then becomes to weave those words into the message. But again, man, since nobody's giving, how about give me a thumbs up or let me know. Hey, Marty Kohler, let me know if y'all are in there and if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay. All right, because I've muted my computer so that I can deliver the message. But here's what my message today is brought to you by the letter Z. As everybody knows, whichever letter I use, I always try to wear a T-shirt that connotates the letter. Oh, good. There goes that. Let me see. Can you hear me on the broadcast? Are you on it?
We can hear and see you.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Bye. Oh, there we go. See, that's and it just so figures that the letter is Z, and who just called me? Z. My sister just called me to let me know she could hear me, because so I actually made some good adjustments on this thing. I'll have to give you that formula letter later. But anyway, the reason, even though my T-shirt does not have the letter Z on it, what it says is, no, I'm not a motivation. I'm not a nag. I'm a motivational speaker. And so actually, what this T-shirt does, it has a double meaning. The first meaning is that it's a great moment spent with my sister, Zettine, who just called me and saved the day, who bought it for me on her first trip to visit me in Chicago years ago. And I can still even fit it, by the way. That's the beauty of it. But right now, in this time in our lives, it's important to smile and think about the moment shared rather than missed or not being made right now. See, we want to focus on some of the good things that have happened in our lives rather than focus on right now, I'm a little inconvenienced or a little uncomfortable with what's going on. If you spend time in regret, you erase the joy in what should really be seen as what we call the time of our life. So that's what we got to look at. Our past was the time of our life. Don't erase that by looking at the problem that we're having right now, because in retrospect, you're going to see that we win those problems. The second thing is that this is also a tribute to parents who can often help create those moments. And even if you have one or more parents who are right now resting in peace, aren't some of the memories of the nagging that they did some of the great memories that come to your moments that come to your mind and your heart? And in retrospect, you now see them as love and concern for your well-being. And that kind of walks us into today's message of zero. And my zero isn't to say that we have nothing going on or nothing to be thankful for, but to remind us that we start every day and every moment with a zero. And we have the blessing of filling it in or filling it up with our gifts, which is also a choice that we get to consciously make with zeal and with zest. By the way, it just made me realize that I didn't tell you what our Z words are for the day, because I didn't get to put them in the description because of what I'm trying to do. But our Z words are zealotry, zest, zealous, and zoom. So you'll hear those words. I won't stop and say, oh, there's one of the words. But as you listen for those words, and especially the people who volunteer those words, that makes you become a better listener. See, when you know what you're listening for, you listen more intently. So that's why if we have a positive attitude and know that we're listening for a good message, we can recognize it when it comes. That's a little different from what's called the confirmation bias, where we listen for only what we want to hear so that we can confirm how we feel, even if that's a negative way of looking at things. We may have a negative feeling about something, so we want proof that we have the right to be negative. So that's called the confirmation bias. Again, where we want somebody to support our negativity. P.S. By the way, confirmation bias does not only have to be for negativity. You can also seek confirmation bias when you're looking for positive things. That's what research is, actually. Research is someone has a theory, and so now they research it so that they can find and prove their theory. So, so positive, confirmation bias is not a negative thing, correct? Okay, but now you know what it is. But okay, again, so anyway, we start each day and every moment at zero, and we have the blessing of filling it up with our gifts. We all have a gift to fill it up with, and it's a choice to get consciously make that happen with zeal and with zest. So what I did is I looked up the word zeal. Zeal is great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause, of an objective, and use that in a sentence: his zeal for privatization. And then zest. See, they're synonyms, but they just have just a little different meaning that I thought it was important to bring it up. And zest is it's the same definition, but here's the sentence: they campaigned with zest and intelligence. And already you see that I'm going to be walking us into campaigning similar to what we're talking about now in terms of our peaceful protest. That's about part of my message today. Zealous is having or showing zeal, which is why I gave you the definition for zeal. And a sentence, the council was extremely zealous in the application of the regulations. And then lastly, zealotry, fanatical and uncompromising pursuit of religious, political, or other ideals. Fanaticism. Sentence, he expressed concern about religious zealotry playing an increasing role in politics. Now, here's why I put those together. Thanks, Dale. I think people are having a challenging time right now separating religion from politics because of the new, or actually the latest, racial tension in our country. And I liken that to our need to embrace brotherhood and extend love. See, part of religion is brotherhood and an extension of love. But it does have a correlation to the politics, because what happens is the conversation that we say we need to have, the conversation about race, the conversation is really hard to have when you feel that someone else is really just being politically correct in acting as if they're listening or as if they care, And again, I'm going to repeat that sentence. It's hard to have the conversation when you feel someone is just being politically correct, acting like they're listening, or even acting like they care. See, so it's not necessarily, but remember that you can't read somebody else's mind. That's why it's important to look back at the message I gave on Monday, where I gave a formula for taking some of that pressure off of ourselves and those closest to you in our Glue Monday message. See, how do you recognize that someone's just being politically correct, or if they're really open to having the conversation? Because it is a conversation that we need to have. So I talked about how important it is to take race out of racism and realize that the focus should be on the ism. The ism being the ignorance, the stupidity, and the madness. And I've updated that M to also meaning the mentality. See, it's the ism that's important, because we can't get rid of our race. We're in the race that we're in. But it's racism is what the race is being shaken up negatively by the ism, by the ignorance, the stupidity, and that mentality. And what I like to do is take us to scripture that actually to take a look at how that ignorance, that stupidity, and that madness or mentality has been around for a long time, and where it can lead and how it works and how its words speak and sneak themselves into our lives. So that's why I say this is not new, okay? This has been around for a long time. I'm going to take you to the book of Matthew. And in the book of Matthew, Matthew 27 through 31, most people are familiar with. Listen to this. Matthew 27 through 31. Okay, some of the governor's soldiers took Jesus into their headquarters and called out the entire battalion. They stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him. They made a crown of long, sharp thorns and put it on his head. And they placed a stick in his right hand as a scepter. Then they knelt before him in mockery, yelling, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they spit on him and grabbed the stick and beat him on the head with it. When they were finally tired of mocking him, they took off the robe and put his own clothes on him. Then they led him away to be crucified. Whether you know those exact words or not is not important, but most of us know that, yeah, the soldiers did this to Jesus. You know what we've overlooked? Matthew 26 and 67. Matthew 26 and 67 says, "Then they spit in Jesus's face and hit him with their fists. And some slapped him, saying, 'Prophesy to us, you Messiah. Who hit you that time?'" Those weren't the soldiers. Those were the Jewish leaders who wanted to murder Jesus for saying that he was the Son of God and that he was making them look bad with their religious followers. See, so again, we tend to know about the soldiers that spit on and slapped him, but we tend to not really know about the fact that those who were close to him did the same thing. And the reason I brought that out is because that's a crowd mentality. And see, a crowd mentality is a scream for cowardliness. Once they saw one person hit him, then another one went in and got a hit, and then another one went in and got a hit. See, that's the ignorance, the stupidity, and the mentality that we see in racism, and where we see people being negative and coming down on someone else. It can be a crowd mentality, and it can scoop people up. People that you thought were basically good people. And you know what? The funny thing is, in some ways, some of them may still be good people, but they got scooped up and they found themselves in that bag. But that still was a choice of theirs, because it depends on how well or when they pull themselves out that gets the final word in the story. So I say to you, and that's why. And then the other part I wanted to read to you is Matthew 27 through 24, which then says, Matthew 27 through 24, and this is the crowd of his Jewish friends, who they said, Pilate saw that he wasn't getting anywhere and that a riot was developing. A riot, a peaceful protest, not a peaceful protest, a riot. So he sent for a bowl of water and washed his hands before the crowd, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this man. The responsibility is yours. Here it goes, y'all. And the people all yelled back, we will take responsibility for his death, we and our children. Ism is passed down. Ignorance, stupidity, and that madness mentality is passed along. So what I want to say to you is that foretells the fate of many people. Try not to be a part of many people. Okay, what are you doing to maintain your part of being the solution and outweighing the problem? I brought those up because I'm showing you this has been around for a long time. What's going on right now is not a case of new people suddenly deciding that they want to be governed by hatred. Hatred has been around a long time, and sometimes all it is cowardliness, where someone who is just going to follow the crowd because it's a popular decision and it's something to keep them safe, is following the crowd. Please don't be a person that follows a crowd of negativity. So today, what I'm going to do is read a sarcastic poem about how we've treated and are still treating one another in some cases. And it's called, So, What Do Animals and Bugs Think About? And I want you, as I read this, just picture what these animals and bugs do. And think about how I'm correlating that to the crowd mentality and how we're treated, how we've been treated, and how we're treating one another today. And then most importantly, are you doing that? And if you find yourself in that poem, are you going to work toward pulling yourself out? So, what do bugs and animals and bugs think about? Do horses stress about how they'll do in the next race? And when they get to the gate, are they hoping they don't make a fool of themselves and risk the chance of dying from embarrassment, or what the papers will say about them tomorrow, or even worse, what the other horses might say? And do greyhounds feel that way? Do squirrels consider unionizing to balance the scale and earn meals or vacation time? Maybe ants do. Are birds focused on redeeming frequent flyer miles, or wondering how people walk, while chickens, pigs, and cows try to deal with low self-esteem by eating and lobbying to get organ donor rights tax deductible? And will white cats refuse to play with black ones, or mixed, old or young ones? Can frogs relate to tadpoles, or butterflies show a caterpillar the same patience as an understanding, though skeptical, owl? Who? What percentage of buzzards worry about cholesterol and diabetes, or monkeys' high blood pressure, if the Democratic lioness runs on a feminist platform and takes the risk of political suicide by splitting the panda vote? Do ducks care? Are bulls shallow? Can snakes rest on their laurels or parrots keep a secret? And how much do bugs appreciate life before deciding to attack a windshield? You know, animals and bugs could learn a lot from us. So I hope you see the sarcasm there, because it's so important that, right now I want to take you back to the word zero and what this message is about, and say it's important for us not to give up on hope. After 9/11, the commemorative site was named Ground Zero. Military time starts as 0 hours. Zero must be our reminder that we get the chance to start each day and moment anew by inhaling the following and belief of those whose messages we believe and share. Let's continue to choose our messengers carefully and appreciate that we're carefully being chosen as a messenger. Are you trapped in those Matthew scriptures, following the crowd and leading someone else down a dark hole? Please zoom on and zero in on taking care of your PMS, physical, mental, and spiritual self. You make a difference. Please let it be a positive one. Animals seem to do it. Hey, maybe we could learn a lot from animals. There's a lot going on today, y'all. And it's going to be going on this weekend as well, as our days just melt into one another. Let's stay focused on being the solution. The problem won't go away. What we have to do is minimize the problem's power in our daily lives and interactions with one another. One thing I said on Monday is that I don't group my white friends, my cop friends, my old and young and tall and short friends into a box. I don't say white people this. I see color. Yes, I see color. But more importantly, I see people. And this is a time where we really have got to see the person and the people that we've brought into our lives. Why don't we make sure that we recognize that it was that love that brought us in, those people into our lives, and introduced them to us? Remember love, LOVE, let ourselves value everyone. We've got a lot on our plates right now, y'all. Hang in there, and know that it's going to be okay. This too shall pass. But wisdom being in retrospect, we've got to be patient and pace ourselves toward the finish line. And know that after the finish line, or after the storm ends, there'll be another storm ready to challenge us again. But our track record says we overcome every storm. So trust your track record, laugh at your lack record. Oh, I'm in a work video. Hey, Kevin, what's up, Ferg? Monday, have a safe weekend and let your weekend turn into a strong end. But Monday is going to be the bonus session, the bonus glue session, where I'm going to focus on the letter S. So if you want a word with the letter S to be in the message, put that in the thread and I'll weave that into the message. If you like a copy of today's poem, So What Do Animals and Bugs Think About? Send me an email request to sportyking@gmail.com. I'm playing hooky from my from my conference right now, so I'm going to go get back in there, since it's really this format is really not that interactive when I'm coming from Zoom into Facebook. But I did get to see some of your stuff and some thumbs up and things. I'll figure that out, and then I'll go back in and I'll answer some questions and give some comments and some love. Especially, you'll see me put a love next to someone when they put a word that they want in the next thread, because that's how I signal myself to make that a part of the next message. So thanks for tuning in to Glue. Remember that Glue is Glue. God's love undoes everything. Not that it undoes as in tears things apart, but whatever has been torn apart, his love will put it back together. And God's love is in you, because if it wasn't, I don't think you'd join in on this broadcast. So don't let yourself get pushed out by having to make that decision between politics and religion. But more importantly, don't let it be a decision between living your life, because there are some spots where our politics and our religion will have to separate us. Think about it and then make that decision, because zero can be a wonderful place when you know how to use it. Thank you. God bless you and have a safe weekend. Ciao. And here we go. Be a wonderful place when you know how to use it. Thank you. God bless you and have a safe weekend. Ciao. All right. Y'all are sitting here with me now trying to figure out how to cut this thing off. Oh, I might have found it. There we go. End watch party. And then did it. Yay. Yeah.
You still there?
It's not cutting off? How about now? Oh, okay. Now I see it. I'm just going to log off. How about now?
Nope.
I'm still there?
Yeah, wait, let me see it. You know, it's behind you as you talk. Hold on.
Okay. And it's on a delay anyway. Should be.
Yeah, it's on a delay. But you're still here.
Oh, now I see why. Boom. Got it.